Hello, everybody. Welcome to the MI podcast. In this podcast, we discuss all things marketing and media. Today, we have a very interesting episode about B2B content marketing. B2B for the layman is business to business. Whenever there is any kind of generally service from which a business purchases from another business, it would come under this B2B. And marketers who work in B2B have to focus more on quality based targeting and content as well, because you have a small set of an audience, which is your TG, which is businesses which you are selling your service to, and you have to kind of design campaigns, content, and everything around that, ads also, so that you kind of reach out to a very specific audience. So for a B2B marketer, understanding the target audience is optimized. To optimize the marketing is the most important thing. We generally talk like a marketer has to understand the audience, right? But this thing is emphasized to another level only when you have B2B marketing, because you have a very small set of people where you will purchase, the businesses will purchase from you. So you have to know their particular, the designations there that are going to buy that particular product. Study how do they research about the products and all which they are buying for their business, even their own behaviors, and then kind of design your marketing accordingly. So to discuss the same, we have a specialist in B2B marketing with me. We have Sreyashi Chatterjee. Thanks a lot, Sreyashi Chatterjee, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Nikhil. So, a bit of introduction about myself. I am Sreyashi. My background wasn't sort of about marketing, so I studied physics in graduation. Then I did an MBA. I was studying to become a banker, but in my MBA curriculum, there was marketing as a as a study project or something. So then that was the time when I got interested about marketing, and I was always interested about writing as well, so both kind of clicked. So after completing my MBA, I wanted to do something with marketing. So I remember joining a B2B firm, like
Yes.
a web development firm
But
back.
Sreyashi, in MBA, your what was the specialization then?
It was finance actually, but marketing was a
Okay, okay.
side subject. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, I think
I
because in the
wanted to become.
first year they all the streams, I
Yeah,
think marketing,
in
HR,
the
and
first two.
all
Yeah,
is
yeah,
taught.
correct.
Yeah, yeah.
In the first
So
two
you might
semesters, they
have
teach all the.
studied a bit of marketing at that time, and there was then an interest because you were studying.
Yeah,
There were some
yeah,
subjects within that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm. So that marketing is very different from digital marketing. It was like textbook marketing,
Hmm.
theoretical things, but it got me interested, and I have always been a writer. So I wrote in TTIS when I was in school, and some newspapers, some editorial spaces. So both the things matched actually, and after completing my MBA, I kind of ditched the banking thing, and I thought of becoming a content writer. So initially, I started with a B2B web development firm. There, I was writing long form articles and different sorts of content. Back then, Facebook posts, LinkedIn was just emerging at that time. So this kind of posts and all this grew my interest in digital marketing and tech marketing, B2B tech marketing. So but after that, my journey was like I wrote for agencies. I worked for B2B SaaS companies as well, Eka Software Solutions, Argoid Analytics. After that, last I was working in a digital marketing agency, Triple Dart Digital. So and currently I am working as an independent content marketing consultant. I help B2B SaaS startups to grow an audience online organically. So yeah,
That's
that's
right.
yeah.
So it's interesting your journey. So when you said you had an interest in writing, generally
Yeah,
like what you used to write?
yeah, mostly non-fiction sort of writing. So if I go back, my very first writing that was published in TTIS was like they used to give every week, they used to give a topic for school students to write about, different sorts of things, what is going on, what are the trends that were going on in news, some maybe some controversial issues news, what are your opinions on that. So this sort of writing I started with. So for a brief period I even wanted to be a journalist, so I like that sort of writing as well. But once I started writing for this particular company in 2017, I started liking the blog format, the long form article format, or even short form content like LinkedIn content, any social media posts. So gradually my interest grew there.
That's right. But obviously, I think not. You are saying non-fiction writing was something that you
Hmm.
already were,
Yes.
exploring. That was an interest of yours. And then when it came to marketing, obviously, it is in the same space. It is based
Mm-hmm.
on facts
Yeah.
and like B2B specifically. You say it is more logic based. Like when you create
Yes.
any kind of
Yes.
a content.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hmm.
accordingly. But I've observed this that quite a bit of writers either they like started like from their childhood they were interested in writing, and then
Mm-hmm.
when it came to the career, then they went like into marketing. The most common is obviously when you have a digital marketing agency, you are a content writer in that, right? So it's like
Yes.
your hobby is writing, so now you make it a career wherein you're writing for other brands, and you could be
Mm-hmm.
ad copy, or there are so many kind of, I think, content now apart from that,
Yes.
from the earlier days
Mm-hmm.
when you say just about content writer who is writing ad copy or an article. So
Mm-hmm.
there's an interesting, and even seeing some marketers, then they go on to write a book or something, so that is also their
Yeah.
interest. So
Mm-hmm.
what do you feel this is, this relationship between writing and then being a good marketer?
Yeah, so writing for me, I would say it's definitely the first step, because if you are a good writer and you can write different sorts of content, half of the work is already done. Then
Hmm.
after that, you need to like you need to gain some skills, little bit of upskilling. Say you need to learn something about SEO. You need to learn about how this different social media platforms, say how LinkedIn works, how Instagram works, how Twitter works,
Hmm.
because different content type works in different social media platforms. You need to
Hmm.
understand how, not just how to write but what to write on, like how to find a
Hmm.
topic that your audiences will resonate with. So once you learn this sort of things, then you can slowly transition from being a writer to a marketer.
That's right. But the innate skill, like if you say a marketer, what
Hmm.
is it in him that a like he being a good writer or developing good writing skills can
Hmm.
optimize his marketing?
Yeah, that's what I feel, because writing is like, you can think of any sort of marketing designation, not just content marketer, whether you are an email marketer, you are a product marketer, whichever is your area of interest, writing actually comes sort of innate there. You have to, like, you have to have a good
That's
written
right. That's right.
communication skill, and after
Yes,
that
yes.
you can. Yeah.
That's right. I feel, what, so like as a writer, what we are doing, we are analyzing like an audience. Firstly, and a writer is very
Hmm.
observant. And obviously, I've interacted with a lot of writers, they take interest in a lot of people. It's easier to
Yes.
approach them, have a conversation,
Hmm.
because they
Hmm.
look forward to that, to
Hmm.
understand about your experiences. So it's very important thing.
Correct.
Marketers, you can take note of this. The
Mhm.
right, being a writer mindset has to be there. It's the same thing. So you have a TG, you have to understand your TG, like what motivates them, what are they consuming, what are their goals, what are their interests, everything. And the same thing, like what a writer is doing when he's writing that particular story, right? So
Mhm.
this is a kind of a commonality. That's why many writers then are in the marketing field, because they have that kind of skill set. Even marketers develop your writing skills. Firstly, this thing where you are interacting with a lot of people, you have making sure you have various different kind of experiences you are doing. So you learn from all these things, and then you can be a better marketer, in terms of, because marketer ka main thing is the understanding that audience and what will motivate him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
someone is
Exactly.
scrolling through, when you have even a simple thing, you're creating a social media ad, the person is bombarded with all the content. Why will he wait?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
how,
Hmm.
what is it that will kind of hold his attention? You have to,
Yeah.
unless you understand that person
Hmm.
deeply, you will not know, and you've done your research.
Yeah.
So that kind of way it kind of works out. So great. So Shreyashi, in terms of on LinkedIn, you are like showcasing, like a B2B SaaS product
Hmm.
marketing
Hmm.
specialist.
Yes.
So how
Yeah.
did that come about? Like that you are being specific in your role that okay, this is something I is really I specialize in.
Yeah, so like I said, I started with B2B writing, B2B tech
Yeah.
writing, but around 2020, I niched down to B2B SaaS. So, what happened?
Hmm.
Actually, an interesting thing happened. Back then, I was freelancing. So,
Hmm.
and I was in a very early stage of my freelancing journey. So, I was
Hmm.
writing, to be honest, for different type, like whatever was coming my way, I was writing about that. But one client came actually, he had a email marketing sort of solution, and he was a person, I would say, like I'm no longer working with him, but he was the person who built my interest in this B2B SaaS domain. He gave me a lot of product demo, he gave me a lot of product training, made me understand the basic features of a B2B SaaS solution. And I somehow found like I was already doing a lot of technical writing for developers and all, so I had that technical knowledge already. And when I understood the nitty gritties of B2B SaaS, it actually made me very interested in this particular domain. Then I consumed a lot of content. After I understood that briefly, I read a lot of HubSpot blogs, I read a lot of Hotjar blogs, lead feeder blogs, and all this, and a lot of LinkedIn posts. I started following a few people on LinkedIn who just specifically talk about B2B SaaS, and that way I was very interested. And I thought of around end of 2020, I thought of niche down to B2B SaaS. And since then, like whatever companies I have worked on or whatever companies I'm freelancing for, I have stuck to B2B SaaS. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, and I also feel as a personal branding tip also, if you showcase a specific niche specialization, it's better than just spreading
Yeah.
yourself thin. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
that is a good
Hmm.
strategy. Awesome. So guys, we'll come to our particular discussion here. Mainly it'll be about B2B content marketing. So let's go for this. So firstly, Shershi, you can us take us in terms of the importance of it when you talk about B2B uh,
Hmm.
tech industry and content marketing for the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So, if we talk about in a very simple way, if we want to define B2B content marketing, it's about striking the right balance between technological concepts and storytelling. So. Everybody knows that whether it is a SaaS product or any tech B2B tech product, it is very technical in nature. But we being content marketers or we being content writers, our job is to understand it that very well, the very technical complex technical aspects of it, and presenting it in front of our audiences in a very in a very, not in a hard selling manner, in a passive way, like to make them understand that it is adding some value for them. If we go back, say 10 to 20 years ago, like maybe in the early 2000s, then content marketing was all about writing about your product, that their its features, its price, and we would think that somebody will come, they will read about it, and if they need the product, they will buy it, or not, they will go back. But now, like you said in the beginning, we are targeting the B2B C-suite executives. They do a lot of research. They are not like they're just going to your website, they're reading, okay, these features are matching my need, I'll just buy it. It's not like that. They do a lot of research. They go to different websites, they read your competitors blogs, they check G2, Captera, this kind of websites. They read reviews, they read your testimonials, and after that only they make a decision that should I buy it or not, like how it will add value to my particular problem, how it will fit in my organization if I buy this product. So that's what B2B content marketing is, like I said, striking a balance between technical and storytelling aspects, and also placing your content across all marketing touch points where your audiences can come. It could be a podcast, it could be blog, it could be emails, wherever, social media, wherever they will come, and They will explore it before making a decision, understanding those touch points and placing your content there in a strategic manner, so that it gets converted and generate a new customer. Yeah.
That's right. So Shreyashi, more if we could cover a little bit more about the importance of it. So like if you have a startup and he is
Mm.
B2B SaaS product he has, like what are the initial two three things where you're not maybe talking about yourself, you're talking about the importance of it, that this all
Mm.
kind of content can be created and it can be distributed in this way. This is the
Mm.
importance in terms of the leads that you can get.
Yeah, so when we are talking about leads, it depends like on which stage the lead is. Say they are very new, they're just starting out, they don't even know that this particular problem exists in their company. But when so in that case, if they say I'll just give an example maybe to like sort this out. Say you are a freelancer or a solopreneur or an agency, say a B2B agency, and you don't know, but in your like you know that you are not generating new customers, you are not generating new leads, but you are still not like considering it as a problem. But one day you come across a blog or a podcast that says that why you should have like a strong lead pipeline, why you should generate more leads, why you should like reach out to more people to generate leads, to convert them into your customer. So then you being an agency owner, you will understand, okay, so this might be a problem that I am also facing, I don't know about it, okay, so this is a problem, and now as a next stage I need to find a solution for this problem. So then there is, for the same brand that is talking about the importance of generating new leads, the next, as a next step, they can talk about what are the ways to generate new leads. So the agency one owner now knows their problem, they now know this solution. So as a next step, they will look for a way to, now they know the problem, now they know the solution, now they will need a way how they can generate a like a lead. So that way you maybe you can have some content around say if you are
Hmm.
selling an email marketing software, you can have content around say case studies of how your past clients, they have
Hmm.
generated this many leads using your email marketing software. So or
That's right.
you have
That's
testimonials.
because the people who are working in that domain are, researching this either to educate themselves more on
Hmm,
something
hmm,
or
hmm.
a pain point that they have. So,
Yes, yeah.
content, they will discover you,
Hmm.
your company, if you have created content around it in different places and distributed it, and
Yeah,
obviously the
yeah.
quality of the
Hmm,
content is good, and also yeah, that way maybe is where you establish that importance of it, and then you encourage, if you are the service provider, that you can invest in it, and I'm providing so and so services in the same.
yeah.
Awesome. So Shashi, we'll go towards like in terms of a journey for the buyer that is there. So we generally in marketing, as B2B marketers, have the funnels. So we will have
Hmm.
top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. So you
Yes.
can just take us through it in the context of the tech industry, how these funnels work
Mhm.
out.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So, like what I was saying, the very first funnel is the awareness stage, where you need to make your audiences aware that there is a problem like that maybe you are also facing. So, for this particular stage, you can talk about, you use different sorts of content like blogs, guides, podcasts. So, where you are talking about the problem itself. Then comes the consideration stage, where the audience, they know about the problem, now they're looking for a solution in the sense, you can write how to articles, you can write comparison articles, so they know, like best practices articles. So by now they know that these are the ways I can solve my problem, and after that they are convinced that they have a problem, they know the solution, now they're looking for a tool to solve their solution. So at this stage, if you talk about, if you have product demos, free trials, or case studies, testimonials, that way you win their trust, you make them believe that you are the one they are looking for, your your price matches their budget, your product can solve their problem, so then they will buy it. But having said that, things are changing a bit, I would say, because recently I worked for a SaaS startup. It was a very early stage startup. So my thought process was that if I'm starting with the awareness stage, I will have a lot of competition, because say I am writing about a productivity software, right? And the topic is and the keyword that I'm targeting is best productivity software tools. So it is very difficult for me to rank for this particular keyword for a startup, because there are already very good blogs written by ClickUp, by Confluence, by Monday.com. These are like Jira, Trello. They have already written very good blogs. They have already created multiple sorts of content for this particular keyword. So what I did was that for that particular startup client of mine, I did is that I focused on intent of his target audiences instead of going the keyword approach. I sat with him, I asked him who are your target audiences and what are their most common problems, what are the questions they are finding answers to. Basically I went the bottom of the funnel route, and he gave me 5 6 questions that he feels his target audiences are concerned about. They are not able to find these solutions and they are looking for the solutions. So when I got that list, I did a keyword research based on those solutions, not a very rigorous keyword research, very basic keyword research, 2 3 long tail keywords. I found those out and I wrote blogs, and very interestingly that blog started ranking within 1 week in the second page of Google, and I'm hopeful that it will come to the first page of Google very soon, because it was about their target audiences and their problems. So that's what I mean, that the funnel approach works for enterprises and mid-level organizations, but for startups I think since things are changing, they should start with bottom of the funnel approach.
That's right. The funnels also is a kind of an interesting concept where I think you can use it in not only the tech side of it. There are other industries also where
Mm-hmm.
this can be used. Anything like other interesting you have noticed within how this funnels, maybe you have executed a particular strategy, and in terms of, and it's kind of quickly the results came out quicker than you expected.
Yes, yes. Uh, Other industries, in the sense, you are saying the top of the funnel approach,
Like
that is.
any, like in this kind of content marketing funnel approach,
Mhm.
where you
Hmm.
found or any other like example maybe you can look at where you found there was a success in that quickly than you expected in terms of the how the whole things kind of turned out.
Okay, so it was I didn't like personally did do it, but I learned from one company. I'd say it's Miro. So Miro
Hmm.
is a they have mood boards and all this sort of
Hmm.
product. So what they ranked very soon with their template approach. So Miro
Hmm.
already knew that like their target audiences are design people and product marketing people. So Miro
Hmm.
already knew that these people are struggling the most with proper templates. They don't have
Hmm.
whiteboard templates, they don't have mood board templates,
Hmm.
brainstorming templates. So Miro, if you see, like if I even checked, Miro's blog page doesn't have much traffic, but its template page has like 140K plus traffic. So that's because
Hmm.
the templates are free templates and they are resonating with the target audiences. So those templates are bringing Miro more subscribers, because people, they were looking for those templates and Miro provided that solution. So for Miro, that would be the funnel here. So they started with the template, and after that product demo, and after that they converted those audiences into subscribers.
That's right. That's very interesting. Where you have a particular software, like let's take, we're talking about the design softwares,
Hmm.
and we all would have noticed that when we Google a thing like template for anything, let's
Hmm.
take obviously a bigger company like say Canva.
Yes.
You see all these templates already there. When you firstly Google, so person who is not even a user of Canva would kind of discover
Hmm.
them, and then would like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pretty good software, maybe I can start using the same. So it's very
Yes.
interesting where very specific problem that there's, it's not like about information, you are giving them a particular mini
Hmm.
product only there, right? Okay, I'm going to
Hmm.
use
Hmm.
this
Hmm. Hmm.
particular
Yeah.
template
Yeah.
and do it.
Hmm.
And this is, I can correlate this. Say if you have, say, there are so many like fitness brands per se, like say it's a fitness blog or something. So they will have a calculator, like a BMI
Hmm. Hmm.
calculator,
Hmm.
right? So if
Hmm.
you
Yes.
search
Yes.
the
Hmm.
BMI calculator, you will see वो blog का this thing, you will go and you'll
Hmm.
come
Hmm.
on that
Hmm.
page. So when you use
Yeah.
that calculator, you say, okay, this is some, maybe down there's an
Hmm.
article written about weight loss or whatever,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then you kind of can you got that attention, you got that
Hmm.
person
Hmm.
there, the prospective customer, and he's hooked onto your blog there through actually searching for something like a tool or a small
Yes. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
product there where you can do this. So yeah, this is quite interesting how this whole thing works out and can be really effective in marketing.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Awesome. So in terms of, let's talk about you can say the balance that has to be struck by the marketers. What I've noticed now in
Hmm.
generally like B2B tech marketing, sometimes you can be caught in that whole thing that you have to like showcase about, talk about the features or some very technical aspect. And your maybe target audience, the way these platforms are, they are serving out more content which is a bit more entertaining, right? So how do
Hmm.
you kind of, you might not even get a chance to come in front of your particular audience. So
Hmm.
how do
Hmm.
you kind of you feel you should strike a balance where the content can be a bit entertaining as well and then still somewhere related to your domain?
Yeah, so in my understanding, the first thing that a content marketer or writer do is that they need to understand the product. So I have also, studied a lot of blogs where they have like you said, it is very engaging, very good to read, but at the end of the day, it is a lot of fluff because it is not even talking about the technical things. That should not
Hmm.
be the ideal approach. And on the other hand, if you make it very boring, just about technical things, then only it can be a bit confusing for the readers. So
Hmm.
to strike a balance, first the writer needs to understand the product very very well, like in the most in-depth way possible. They should have multiple product trainings with the product team developers to understand the product, and after they understand it, they need to break down the features for themselves, like this is the feature, and then maybe an anecdote, a narrative, how I can explain this feature to my target audiences without being too technical, but also not just going out of the topic, how I can explain this feature to my target audiences. And then like balance the storytelling and technical aspects. Maybe for example, avoid adding too many coding snippets and all that could make an article
Hmm.
very very technical, but also not adding too many gifs and too many memes and all. Strike a balance, write a like a hypothetical example, a story sort of thing, make them
Hmm.
resonate with the content, how they can relate to it, and then add the features, the
That's right.
technical aspects of it.
One thing I remembered also when I was seeing, like when you see this on the reels, and you have,
Hmm.
say, a financial firm which handles,
Hmm.
all this auditing, whatever of companies, and I've seen
Hmm.
certain reel where they are doing a short skit, right? So
Hmm.
they are explaining ki how a company can save more tax or something like that,
Hmm.
and they have explained it. So the domain is right, like you're talking about tax saving, and in an
Hmm.
entertaining skit is being done.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is where
Hmm.
you can merge the thing, like what
Hmm.
you were
Hmm.
talking
Hmm.
about.
Yes, yes.
That's right. That's right. So I think there are many like these where when you have the deep understanding of your audience, you can look at ways where you can. Another, I would say, memes, using of the
Hmm.
memes. At least you get a bit of attention. I think all these things, some people find it a bit funny, like the entrepreneurs also, like in a certain space, like say I am a finance CRM, or I handle like
Hmm.
something
Hmm. Hmm.
HR. I do my
Hmm.
my bookings or whatever it is on the very like a basic kind of a software which is all business, but somewhere
Hmm.
or the other you could have discovered it through on social media through some meme or something, at least that brand. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing is, if it executed well, it is about also getting noticed. What is the purpose of marketing is also that attention you can get. So I think little bit more open minded, the B2B
Yeah.
content marketers, even
Mm-hmm.
the CEOs of the companies, if they are, they can look at successful. There are many successful examples. So I think you should kind of open up and then explore these
Mm.
also, so
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
you
Correct.
get more attention from your
Mm-hmm.
particular audience.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Awesome. So, Shreyashi, if we can talk about the aspect of thought leadership, like how the top management of firms, they should establish a thought because they are the face of the company, right? So, how
Mm-hmm.
do they can have a proper strategy where that is established and, they have a more connect with their audience?
Yeah, I think to start with, if I talk about the platform, they should start with building their personal brand. So how a personal brand will help them is that it will take time. It will definitely take time for them. But once that personal brand is built, on any social media platform, it will they can leverage it for a long, long time. It will make their target audiences believe that they are thought leaders, they are like authorities, they know these things, they know what they're talking about. And that way, like not only direct conversions, even their audiences, they can refer to other persons, like that person, he talks so much about this particular thing on LinkedIn. I follow that person, I get motivated by their content, and I think you should too. So that is how personal brand works. Like it has an exponential effect if you spend, like invest your time in building your personal brand. So where you can build your personal brand, it would be LinkedIn. That would be the like top solution here, because LinkedIn has a huge user base of B2B people. Most businesses, entrepreneurs, they are in LinkedIn. And other than that, Twitter also is a good platform. You can also write your blogs on Medium. Medium will take little less time, but you can maybe write a blog on Medium and you can share it on LinkedIn, so that you are doing both actually. And this blog should be about your knowledge, your expertise, experience driven content, that where you talk about the results you had generated for your customers, how, like your journey, how you came here, what have been your learnings after in your journey. So these sort of things you need to talk about in different platforms, like I said, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Medium, and build your brand, build an audience, build a community. That way it will be very easy for you to establish yourself as a thought leader, and to get noticed on like online.
That's
Because
right.
yeah,
So, Shreyashi,
because
in
in
terms of
internet,
the
yeah, please go ahead.
when you say thought leadership,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of correlating it with social proof, basically, right? Like
Yes.
you are seeing someone when he is talking about, the topics within your domain industry and is having really
Mm-hmm.
deep insights. You are building that perception because marketing and everything is all about perception. So you're building that
Yes.
perception that
Mm-hmm.
I know things in my domain, I take interest, I'm passionate about it.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that
Mm-hmm.
correlates to if I'm working with you, I will also, in terms of I'll do really
Yeah.
passionate and look at excellence
Mm-hmm.
in that field that, I'm working
Yeah.
for you. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's right. Any, like, you want to talk about a thought leader on LinkedIn or something? Anyone where you follow more or who's doing a good job about it?
Yeah, so a very common example, I think most of our audiences would know, is Justin Welsh. So he is a very seasoned personal branding thought leader on LinkedIn. Currently,
Hmm.
he has like millions of followers there. But when I started following him, say 1 2 years ago, then I think then he was at the mid stage of building his personal brand. So I used to like notice that, like how I became his follower is that he used to talk a lot about personal brand, not just about random things that anybody knows. He used to talk about his journey, his failures, his stories, like how
Hmm.
he came into this domain, how he failed initially, how he established himself as a personal branding person. So his content made me believe that this person is talking real things. It's not a like a story sort of thing, that where he comes and he wins and he's very successful. Not not like that. He's talking about his mistakes. He's being very real on social media. So that made me believe that this person is a good personal branding thought leader, and that's why I have been following him for years, and it has been a very knowledge sharing thing for me, because I have learned a lot from him. I have applied those strategies to my LinkedIn, and I have definitely seen results. So that's what a thought leader should be like.
Definitely. Sreyashi, if we can now cover the basics of the different content formats that are there. If a
Mm-hmm.
person just joins a company, he's assigned the content manager of a
Yeah.
particular B2B brand. What is he looking
Mm-hmm.
at? Like when he opens up his Excel sheet or something, and he's looking at these buckets. What are the content buckets he's looking at, and how should he organize himself?
Yeah. So the person, like a new content manager, so firstly they need to understand what are the company's goals, like long term goals, short term goals. Say the company comes up and tells that person is that we have this product launch, like say this product A, we will be launching it in the next 2-3 months, and you need to like build a plan to promote that particular product. So then based on the product, its target audiences and its features, they can like different, like you said, different content assets, they can plan for it. Say the product will solve a particular problem, and they can make the list of those problems. They can make a list of the questions that their target audiences can have, and based on that they can plan blogs, long guides, podcasts for the top of the funnel audiences who are not aware of the problem yet. Then they can create white papers, they can create ebooks, they can create how to articles, and this types of content will fall in the middle of the funnel stage, where the target audiences are like problem aware but not solution aware. And finally, when you are talking about videos, like say interactive demo videos, or say free trials, testimonials, case studies, these are the types of content that should fall in the bottom of the funnel stage, where the target audiences, they are problem aware, they are solution aware, they are just looking to make a decision.
That's right. That's right. Content. What any kind of new content formats have you seen or they are coming up, which you are also surprised yet? Wow, this is a brilliant way of showcasing your particular company's content and increasing your discoverability.
Yeah, I think definitely, like you said, memes. So
Hmm.
nobody thought, like everybody was thinking maybe a few years ago, that memes are only for B2C brands. Zomato does very well with memes and all. It is for B2C brands. But I have seen brands, they create a lot of content. Like they add memes to their content, they add memes to their social media, they even add memes to their blogs, and it works really well because memes are a very easy way to communicate complex and things in a simpler manner, because not all of your audiences, they are aware of all the technical nitty gritty. So you should have something for everyone. I agree that some people, they know most of the things, they are maybe looking for the solutions, but some people who don't know, or they are struggling with some concepts, memes can be a great way to explain them, like what is the problem, what is the solution, and what they should do as a next step. So yeah, I would say memes.
Awesome. So, Shreyashi, we'll take the audience through the SEO process basically, step by
Mm-hmm.
step. Like when you are, same, we'll take like you are assigned an SEO manager in this particular tech
Mm-hmm.
company.
Mm-hmm.
How do you kind of put across your whole strategy, and generally what kind of you design your task so that you can execute the same.
Yeah, so I think for content marketers specifically, they should create an SEO checklist sort of thing,
Hmm.
where every, like all the stages are explained. So if I am giving you an example, so I'll come back to say a productivity software. So say you are writing an article on, or you're creating any content, social media content, anything on best productivity software tools. So here, say your primary keyword is productivity software, that is your primary
Hmm.
keyword. So if we are talking about a SEO checklist, then the very first stage should first step of that checklist should be that this primary keyword, productivity software tools, it should be present in your title of your article, in the meta description of your article, in the meta title of your article, in the introduction of your article, and in the conclusion of the article, and within the article, wherever you feel it can be added, not in a stuffed way, but in a,
Hmm.
you feel it can be added, you should add it, and also in the
True.
URL of your blog.
True.
So the
But
link
is
of
there
your
any kind of like you have to make sure that that stuffing is not happening? What have to pay attention? Like how many times can you use it and all? What is a kind of a best practice in this?
So ideally, yeah, it depends on the word count of the blog. I'd like
Hmm.
it should be like what we say is that it should, the density of your keyword or the number of times you have used the
Hmm.
keyword should be 2% of your word count. So if it
Hmm.
is a very long blog, say it is a 3,000 word blog, then a
Hmm.
guide maybe, then in that one you have to add it like 2% of 3,000, like that. But when it comes
Hmm.
to a shorter blog, definitely the keyword should be used less number of times so that it doesn't sound like overstuffed. So it depends on the
That's
word
right.
count.
So like
And
let's say
also
example, let's say it's 1,000 words
hmm,
ka article, and when you
hmm,
say 2% of that would be
hmm,
like
hmm,
20, right?
hmm,
So
hmm, hmm,
20 words which you are just for the putting it there, like the
hmm,
productivity software, it cannot be
hmm, hmm,
used more than that. Like product software is 2 words, right? So that maybe
hmm,
10
hmm, hmm.
times, more than 10 times it cannot
Yeah,
be
yeah. So yeah, after a
something like
certain
that.
point, yeah, you should also definitely use your intuition, right? If you feel that
Yes, yes.
after it, writing the article, you do a self edit sort of thing. If you
Hmm.
feel that 20 times it is becoming too much, then you should
Yeah.
definitely yeah, not go for that. And also you can use tools like phrase .io or surfer SEO. These are the tools where if you add your topic, you add your target keywords, and you add your content, they will define
Hmm.
the health of your article. Like if you have overstuffed it, if you
Hmm.
have
Okay.
used the
Okay.
keyword less number of times. So I would say better first, like, believe in your intuition, do an edit, and after that also, if you are confused, use this type of tools. And there is another tool called Market Muse. It is actually free, so we can
Hmm.
start with that. So there you can get a health check of your blog, that it is, has it used it properly, is there more ways to use it, or you have
Hmm.
already overstuffed it. So yeah, you can
That's
plan
right.
accordingly.
Okay, so obviously we are podcast related to content. So when you're looking at the SEO aspect of it, so when I'm creating a particular article and I've posted it, I've
Mm-hmm.
made the blog. What does
Mm-hmm.
I have to do? Is there beyond that, like in terms of distribution or whatever, like in an
Mm-hmm.
SEO perspective, what other things are there? You've written the article is ready. Now, what other aspects are
I think from SEO perspective, what you can do is that you can, yeah, distribution is definitely important. You can
there?
break it down to two different aspects: SEO aspect of it and content aspect of it. If you are talking about SEO aspect of it, you need to, go for guest blogging. You need to create backlinks, authentic, real, like good backlinks for your articles from good sites, so that it gets more, like if your article has a lot of backlinks, it gets
Hmm.
a nudge from Google, and the
Hmm.
ranking becomes it ranks faster. And when
That's
we are
right.
talking
No,
about
but
content.
let's, Sreyashi, will look at it from an angle for startups because maybe
Hmm,
they don't have that, ability to maybe get from a higher ranking
hmm,
site. So we
hmm,
look
hmm,
at it a very like a startup only.
hmm,
If he's doing in terms of backlinks and distribution, whatever SEO activities
hmm.
from their end, which is possible for them.
Yeah, for startups, they can start with free tools, like for example, what do I say, Reddit, Coda.
Hmm.
These are free tools. These are very
Hmm.
good distribution platforms. So if you go to a Reddit community that matches your solution, you can go there and you see that someone is talking about, I'm looking for this kind of software, can you help me with that? You can just write a good answer that, yeah, I can, like,
Hmm.
if you are looking for this, I have a blog written on that. You can read it, and you can, if you feel that this matches your
Hmm.
requirements, you can go there. So that can
Okay, so
be
you can
another way of
research on the keywords on these kind of
yes.
platforms
Hmm,
that you
hmm,
mentioned, where people are
hmm.
asking questions they want the
Yes,
answers for, and you
yes,
put your article there, like as a reference
Yeah.
for them, or a
Mm-hmm.
link to
Yes.
that. Ki this is
Yes.
the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
this is something executable. Anyone is can do
Mm-hmm.
if they
Yeah.
have their
Yeah.
own
Yeah.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
business or this thing. Yeah, that's right.
Hmm. Another thing that is time sensitive, but what you can do is that, say you are writing about email marketing solution, and there are some sites like G2, Captera. They are unbiased sites, they are not your
Hmm.
competitors, and they also have blogs around this sort of like 10 email
Hmm.
marketing software. So what you can do is that you can reach out to them, their marketing people, their content people, and you can request them that I have also a software that is an email marketing software that does this feature, can you list me in your blog? So if that works out, it is a bit challenging, it is a bit time consuming, but if that works out, you get a very good backlink organically, you don't have to pay anything. Like it is another good strategy for startups.
That's right. Social media ka, is there any correlation with SEO with respect to B2B?
uh, Not SEO, but for content definitely yes. So social
Like,
media
is
is
it
like.
that SEO gets stronger if a certain post of yours, you're going to
Hmm.
get traffic? Say,
Hmm.
if I've posted something, then I get say 1,000 people are coming on my site through that social media. So
Hmm. Hmm.
somewhere
Hmm.
or the other, my SEO would get
Yeah,
stronger through that. Or
your website traffic is definitely increasing. So social media is like the low hanging fruit. So whenever you are writing an article,
Hmm.
you can repurpose it into multiple social media formats. That is easy, that is not paid option, and it will definitely give you a boost, and your organic traffic will definitely increase.
That's right. I've even seen, many companies, they'll have a strategy wherein on social media, so you get more traction with the advertising, right? So, or
Mm-hmm.
it's a promoted post. So that will
Mm.
get you quite, it's a paid thing, but you'll get the traffic onto your
Yeah.
particular
Mm-hmm.
site, and that will increase. Like if you observed the SEO ranking also, or something,
Mm.
the indicator that you have of SEO improvement,
Mm. Mm.
that has an upswing when these paid. So I think, let's be honest, like this is all a paid game now, and it
Mm.
can be enhanced. Like if the traffic is getting enhanced, you will get better ranking via these search engines also. So yeah, that's something to think about. But as I said, like which we are saying, there are a lot of efforts apart from just creating the content that have an
Mm.
impact
Mm.
within SEO.
Definitely. Yeah. If you don't have a promotion plan, it is definitely not gonna work. Yeah.
Okay, so Sreyashi, the basically the marketers in these particular tech companies, they are working with the tech team. There's a huge team
Mm.
of engineers that work on it. You also have a product manager there, right? Of the
Mm-hmm.
particular, if there's a SaaS product. So how do you think this marketing and the technical team can work effectively so that the technical team is helping optimizing the whole marketing process for the
Mm-hmm.
particular audience? Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a very important aspect and also a very difficult thing. In my previous company, also, I have seen that the technical people, they don't even know who are the marketing people, who is doing what. They are just meeting them in all hands meetings, and that's it. So this is something every startup should fix this issue. As soon as possible. There should be a very good collaboration system among marketing, sales, and tech teams, so that every all of them are on the same page. So how one way of doing it is that if you are using any tool, say Jira or ClickUp, any this sort of workflow management tools, we should have a very dedicated workflow. Like, say a new product or a new feature is coming up, the tech team then arranges a call with both sales and marketing teams to explain them what the product is, what are the features and everything. And the sales and marketing team, they are recording it, and they have created a proper repository on Notion or on Google folder, where all these records are with respect to the priorities of the launch of the product or the business goals. All these videos, these recordings, at this demo recordings are stored in a proper, in a centralized place. And after that, the sales and marketing team, they are also connecting, because they also don't have proper sync most of the times. They are also syncing, and they are also planning, like how sales team will have, like will plan the launch of this product and how marketing team will launch on the product, so that the same day the sales team is sending a mail, marketing team should also post a social media post or should write a like a publish a blog around that. So this sort of thing, I think, like using a project management tool where everything can be tracked, so that tech team knows what marketing and sales teams are doing, and sales and marketing team understands the product through the tech team. So I think that is very
That's it.
important.
Shreyashi, in terms of the communication you covered, where the tech team is, communicating to the marketing and sales teams in
Hmm,
terms
hmm,
of a
hmm,
new
hmm,
feature.
hmm.
How do you think the other way around, wherein marketing sales team are giving inputs to the product team, where then they can look at, adding certain solutions because they are working very
Mhm.
directly with the
Yeah,
market. They
yeah,
will have that thing. So,
yeah.
how do you think that kind of communication will work out?
Yeah, I think in that picture there is another team that should come in between as a bridge, that is the customer success team. They talk with the customers like every day. They should have a proper set of calls with the sales and marketing team, so that the customer success team can keep track of, like say for example sales team, they are sitting in different sales calls, and they sort of know that what the customers are expecting, what are the solutions they are looking for. So they should communicate that with the customer success team. Customer success team knows that these are the solutions that the our target audiences are looking for. Similarly, marketing teams, they practice social listening, they go to different communities, they see a lot of questions from the customers, so they should
Mhm.
also communicate all these things with the customer success team. And the customer success team should have a process, say maybe weekly one call or bi-weekly call, where they provide all these inputs in a listicle manner, in an actionable manner, to the tech team, so that the tech team can take these inputs and they can implement all this in the solution, so that the product is,
That's right.
yeah, as per the needs of the target
That's right.
audiences.
Yeah, I think CEOs can listen to this very
Mhm.
closely because
Mhm.
generally what is happening that this is not happening. All these departments are
Yeah.
generally when you go on the ground level and you're working in the company, you realize that yeah, they are just silos. Like I'm doing something, then
Mm-hmm.
I communicate, and very bare, minimum things are being done. I think this is something where it can be a part of your process, like you mentioned, where you're part
Mm.
of a workflow where this has to
Yes.
be done. So then say
Mm-hmm.
once a month there has to be a communication which a
Yeah.
marketing team is
Mm-hmm.
giving to the product team or to the engineering team or whichever way around, and
Mm-hmm.
something that they can't come in blank to those meetings, like they
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah.
bring something.
Prepare.
It is a
Yes, yes.
responsibility that these two
Hmm.
points I have done research and this is what I'm
Hmm.
bringing to the table, and
Hmm. Hmm.
obviously they should be incentivized for that, in terms of yeah that they have contributed. I think that is also a thing when you are working in a company, when
Hmm.
you are designing HRs or CEOs and all, they'll be privy to this, that also how you interact with other departments, how you're contributing to their
Hmm.
success
Hmm.
also somewhere or the other, that should be a part of your key performance indicator.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Yes. Yeah.
that's right, that's right, awesome. So, Shreyashi, we can talk about the future in terms of
Hmm.
what all is there interesting, what is happening, what are the trends in B2B tech, what are the big companies, because obviously people look at them, that okay, I
Hmm.
have to
Hmm.
look at this
Hmm.
company. This is an inspiration for me. Is the benchmark. I have to reach that. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
what
Hmm.
are they doing? Like, what do you feel is the new things happening?
Okay, so currently three things come to my mind. Like we discussed about templates. So lots of companies, they are focusing more on templates, or like you said, calculators, this sort of assets, where the audiences, they can actually try it out by themselves. That is what is called product led growth, where they are
Mhm.
trying it out themselves. They are understanding that they need it, and then they are going out. They're going and meeting your sales team, talking to them. So that is one thing definitely brands should think of. Second, second is memes. B2B marketers, they should not consider memes as a just for B2C or just for fun sort of thing. If you know how to use memes strategically, it can be a very very good resource for your target audiences. And finally, I would like to mention a bit about ChatGPT again. ChatGPT in content, it is creating it has created a revolution, I would say. And AI is here to stay. That is another thing we have to agree. So we should neither be in denial, and nor should just rely on ChatGPT when writing content. So denial in the sense, we should not say no, no, I will write everything by myself. That will maybe take up a lot of your time, and you will be running short of time. And on the other hand, if you are generating an article from using ChatGPT, you should try to find ways to edit it properly. And also you should improve your prompt game. So in
Mm.
the near future, in the next 2 3 years, what will matter is that how good your, if everybody is using AI, then how your content will stand out from mine is that you are using good prompts. So you should
Mm.
experiment and play around a lot with prompts. You should understand what prompts work well, what prompts will be able to give me the best outputs, and then document those prompts, so that in the
Mm.
next day you don't have to start from scratch. You already have that prompt,
Mm.
you can just use it again to create a better output. Yeah.
That's right. Shreyasi, what do you feel now about podcast also as a discovery tool? So your TG is following quite a bit of podcasts. So your
Mm-hmm.
brand can start a particular podcast and maybe release periodic episodes on the same.
Yeah, definitely. Podcast is definitely, like, for the last 2 3 years, it is going strong. So it can be, we can definitely, apart from blogs and guides, not everybody is willing to read a lot of content. They like to listen,
Mm.
they like to watch. So for them, for those B2B people, I think podcasts will definitely work as a discovery tool, as an awareness stage
Mm.
content, where they understand about a problem. They know that this problem exists in my company, and I need to take an action for it. So for that, podcast is definitely one of the
Also,
best
the
content.
people who are working within that company, you
Hmm.
obviously in a podcast, if you're interviewing
Hmm.
them or the
Hmm.
CEO of the company is
Yeah.
also involved in that podcast, you get a more, you're humanizing the brand. So
Hmm.
somewhere or
Yes.
the other, you will, get a more positive response in your campaigns as well, because
Hmm.
once they see a campaign, they look up your content and they see
Yeah. Yeah.
really good
Hmm.
podcast. It
Yes.
definitely would increase likelihoods of engagement
Hmm.
basically
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the same.
Hmm.
I've also seen, I think, the when you talk about Instagram and Reels, short videos and all,
Hmm.
how you can showcase it even in a B2B setting, whether it is a skit, like you showcase a problem and like suppose there's an agency and client meeting and you
Hmm.
put it
Hmm.
on
Hmm.
a funny way in a short
Yeah.
video.
Yeah.
So you
Hmm.
get that, that in terms of that connect with that audience, and then
Hmm.
it's in that space. So even though it is a reel and all, it's somewhere or the other you're showcasing an interesting story in your domain
Hmm. Hmm.
and something which is entertaining, which will increase shareability as well.
Definitely.
That's right. Awesome. So, Sreyashi, in terms of let's say the challenges that are there for a B2B content in today's day and age, what kind of challenges that they have,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
what is your strategy to overcome this?
Okay. So, first thing first, definitely the coordination issue has to be fixed. In a marketing team, not just marketing team, in a company, every team should know what the other team is doing, not in a micromanagement sort of way, but to be in the same page, so that what the tech team is currently working on, marketing and sales team should know, so that they can plan their strategies accordingly. And that I have also seen, like, while I was freelancing or I was working in a company, I saw that that is clearly lacking there. So marketing
Hmm.
team has no clue what the tech team is working on, so how will they plan their strategy? So like I said, for that we need to use tools tools. We need to templatize everything. We need to build a process where marketing team has to connect with sales and tech teams to understand what is going on in their agenda, and vice versa. Tech team also has to connect with marketing and sales team to communicate. That, I would say, is one very critical problem. We should not limit ourselves within that siloed structure. That will not help in the long run. And second, I would say, for startups, it is a challenge to get noticed in the pool of so many strong competitors. So does that mean that startups will not sell same kind of products that big companies are selling? Definitely not. So they should focus on more social listening, more they should try to understand more about their target audiences and their problems, and they should come up with more such tools where their audiences are not just reading about it, they're like using it. Interactive product demo, free trials, this sort of tools that boost the product led growth thing, so that even though your competitors are very strong, your target audiences, they understand that okay, this product, it might not be as popular as the other competitors, but it has some promise to it. When I'm using it, I am thinking it is the best thing for me. So that is very important.
That's rich. Sreyashi, what do you feel about the paid ads that are there in B2B? So we are observing that the CPCs and cost per leads, those are increasing rapidly,
Hmm.
and in a
Hmm.
way then is not even justifying the cost of acquisition
Hmm.
that you
Hmm.
have. So
Yeah.
how do you feel we should approach this? Maybe like optimizing. How do you optimize your particular paid ad campaigns, or kind of looking at in a way that maybe reducing that amount, like the paid advertising? So how do
Hmm.
you think we should approach it?
Um, Very honestly, I don't have much knowledge about paid ads, but what I understand is that, like anything in marketing, is it's about like identifying the right group of audiences and identifying the right set of keywords that would work for paid ads. So my previous agency, it was a paid marketing as well as a content marketing agency. So there I was not entirely in the paid team, but I worked with some people from the paid team. So what I understood is that they spend a lot of time in researching their target audiences and building that plan, the budget, media budget, so that they are absolutely sure that they are allocating right amount in right channels. And also I used to see that they take a lot of care in removing the negative keywords from the campaigns, because if a negative keywords is getting clicks, their clients are get losing some money, but it's not doing well. So I think that much I would like to say, but
That's
again,
really
I'm not an expert here. Yeah.
Yeah. My suggestion would be that instead of the paid ads thing, obviously reduce your budget in that and put it into
Mm-hmm.
events. So events
Yes.
can be
Yes.
online, offline. So where you're spending on that,
Hmm.
there is an incentive, at least in terms of the people coming in the TG. At least there is some, maybe your event, whatever you're talking about, they might not be interested. At least they'll come for growing their
Mm-hmm.
community, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Networking and
Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
in an
Mm-hmm.
offline, because offline may there is a lot of potential. Even online is like you design a particular
Hmm.
like a webinar or an interaction, or bring on some particular very known person in that domain where people look up to,
Mm-hmm.
and have
Mm-hmm.
an interaction, and then in a Q&A session. So, and you can design these LinkedIn, you have audio format also now, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of where they are giving a lot of incentive to your followers get notifications when these kind of events happen, or you
Yes.
put that event out in various
Hmm.
the event, I think what do you call, platforms, event platforms that are there,
Mm-hmm.
and when you look up as per the
Mm-hmm.
keywords, they can come up. And also I feel
Hmm.
this is the way to go. Try to your event marketing plan, put more money in that, and try to connect, because that particular leads you get, even though maybe
Hmm.
you might be spending more in that CPL when you come down to it, but
Mm-hmm.
their conversion rate is higher, much higher. It could be
Yes.
even 3-4 times of the conversion rate that you're getting in a general ad, because general ad, maybe even most of the time I've seen, even in paid campaigns, you're getting a person who just maybe casually looks it up, and maybe he the person is only not suitable for that solution, right? Many
Mm-hmm.
factors for that,
Yes.
but then
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
happens a lot, and then that
Hmm.
your cost increase because that guy is
Yes.
consuming
Yes.
that and all in the
Mm-hmm.
feed and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that way my suggestion would be, like
Yeah. Yeah.
look at those
Definitely. Yeah.
aspects as well.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Great. So it's been a great session, Sreyashi, on the
Mm.
MI podcast. We covered so many aspects, interesting on the B2B content marketing. People who are actually working in it, like people like me, have got so many
Mm.
great insights from you, and obviously the listeners as well. And what they can specifically work on to improve not only their skills but also the strategies so that they optimize the marketing for the
Yes.
company. Awesome. So, Shreyashi, before we wrap up, any kind of message to the audience, anything interesting happening in your career, or anything you want to tell the particular audience?
Yeah, so like I would firstly say thank you, Nikhil. Thanks for having me. So I hope this session would be helpful for your audiences, and I also got to learn a lot from you, from your insights. So I'll definitely try to implement that in my services. So yeah, I think it was a great experience, and yeah, that's it from my end.
That's right. Anything about your socials, people you want to connect with you, any services, kind of what do you specifically provide? Anything about that you want to share?
Yeah, so I am very active on LinkedIn. So anybody who would like to connect with me, please do connect with me or DM me on LinkedIn. I'd be happy to help. And my services include, like I said, I provide content marketing and writing services to early SaaS startups. So who have maybe just raised an investment round or are looking to raise an investment round and are looking for a content strategy for their website. So yeah, anyone who is listening to this, if they feel that they need a content marketer to boost their site's growth organically without paid initiatives, they can definitely reach out to me.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Shreyashi, for
Thank
your
you.
time. And to the audience, please subscribe to the MI channel on all platforms. We are on all podcast platforms as well as on YouTube. So please, definitely, we'll have a lot of interesting episodes also coming up with a lot of experts in marketing and the media industry. So please stay tuned and definitely take care of yourself. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I'll see you. Take care.